Martial arts. That is what we're going to be talking about today, okay? I've done martial arts, or I've talked about, like, the goats of different sports, including MMA. And, I did a Q&A, like, last Saturday. And one thing I didn't realize is how many of you guys are either curious about getting into martial arts or in martial arts and want to hear my take on it. For anybody who doesn't know, my original start in, like, making YouTube videos was just making, like, videos covering the sport of MMA, okay? That's where my initial YouTube run started, okay? And I carry a lot of that. Let me just say this right now. Let me get the hot takes out of the way. I think the entirety of PE from grade 6 through 12 should be replaced with either judo, wrestling, or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, okay? I do believe PE should just fundamentally be replaced with some type of combat sport that isn't striking, because I do believe it's that important. I think learning a martial art is one of the most important things that you can learn. And I don't mean in, like, some red pill stuff like, well, as a man, you must know how. I would actually argue to, like, the 3 women in the audience, if you do not know how to throw a left hook, you gotta be packing a force multiplier on you 24/7, okay? Listen here, Samantha. You're not built different. You're 5'4" and you scare me. Not in a way of, like, you're an actual threat, but, like, you are this close to being abducted. Okay, that's the point that I'm trying to think. I think martial arts is a much-needed thing, but some people are confused. What martial arts do they get into? So they get into boxing, Muay Thai, or so they go into grappling, jiu-jitsu, or wrestling. And then you got judo. And, of course, you have the goat of martial arts, Aikdo. I'm being, like, uber sarcastic. No, you're going to be hearing a lot of slander in this video, and it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, martial arts as a community is one of the best there is. I love martial arts, and I want to talk about what is the most useful martial art, in my opinion, okay? And with all that out of the way, please consider like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And you know what? Let's try to get 500,000 subscribers, 500,000 before the release of GTA 6. That is the goal. And with all that out of the way, if you enjoyed the video, please consider like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay notified. And with all that out of the way again, let's get into what martial arts is the most effective. Let's go. Nothing. Literally you're just a victim. You are a victim in training. You know what? Okay, part of the criteria of this one is that how easy would it be for you to learn it at the age of 18? Because a lot of you guys, what you're getting in the martial arts, it's either from the ages of 18 to 21, and there's a few 25-year-olds. I know somebody's going to say, and I'm going to answer your question right now. Is it too late for me to learn martial arts? No. It's just not. To go pro in the UFC? Yes, probably. I'll just be real with you. Yeah. Probably. You could be like Volkanovski and start training MMA at the age of like 20, or like, I think it was actually 25, which is absurd, okay? And then make it big. But I'll just be real with you. If you just know how to throw a good 1, 2, 3 and a teep kick and have some level of takedown defense, you could beat 90% of people in any type of physical altercation. I'm just going to keep it real with you. The average dude is a victim walking in his day-to-day life. I'll just be honest with you, okay? And that's this guy. If you do not train any type of martial arts, bro, you are walking through Rainbow Valley. When I mean by Rainbow Valley, I mean like everything is sunshine, rainbows, bro. You're waking up and sounding like today's gonna be a great day, and nothing goes bad. Absolutely nothing goes bad in your day-to-day life, and that's okay. The problem is, statistically speaking, you're going to get into one physical altercation in your adult life that could be bad, okay? And I do believe you should know some martial arts. And yeah, we'll talk about the just lift, bro. I'm going to do the just lift, bro, right after this, because I think that's a good way to do it. But if you are not above average in strength, if you are not an athletic specimen, which, let's be real, most of us are not, and you don't know any type of martial arts, your only other option is to be strapped or get clapped. I'm going to be real here, bro. You are a victim walking. You are a victim and you do not realize it, and that is honestly more pathetic than even Aikdo. Train something, okay? Something. I just lift, bro. Okay, some of these are the 260 bros. I just see red. Sometimes that's the lifting guy. I see a lot of the times it's the people that don't train at all, because that is a delusional thing. Here's the fact. If you are like top 10 percentile in strength and you are just absurdly strong, you will absolutely mop the floor with somebody who's untrained. Absolutely decimate them. And this is where the just lift, bro, kind of gets like a very twisted point of reality, okay? I'll say it again. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. The vast majority of people that are getting in the street fights have absolutely no clue what they're doing, okay? Let me just say this right now. Maybe this is my confidence. If you walk up to me and you hit me with like a little sub and you want to go scrap in the parking lot, and I look at you, and there's a few things that I can notice straight away that you're a BMF, okay? You're a bad motherfucker. I'm about to get beat up. You want to know what they are? Honestly, I'm gonna look at what type of shirt you're wearing. If you're pulling up to me and you're wearing some like what is the shirt? It's like a golfing polo tee. That's number one. Okay, then sometimes you're just athletic. And then I look at your ears. If you don't got no cauliflower, okay, I'm feeling better and better about myself. And this is the next one. And this one is a tougher one to figure out for first glance. I'm gonna look at your facial structure. Does it look like your nose has been broken multiple times? Do you have a very thick brow line where like scar tissue has been piling up? No? You a little baby-faced, baby-eared boy? Yeah, bro, I'm smoking you in that parking lot, dog. And probably not. My bitch ass is gonna say something like, hey, yo, can we do it on the grass? Because, yeah, bro, I'm not gonna risk getting a manslaughter charge because you want to run a fade with moi? Get out of here, okay? The Just Lift, bro, is winning these untrained people, dude. I'm sorry. The Just Lifting, bro, is better than nothing. It legitimately is better than nothing. If you can pick somebody up and literally throw them away from you, okay? The fact is that beats the vast majority of people that are not trained. Now, there are a few people that are untrained that'll get lucky, okay? Because I've seen some Just Lift bros that literally have the athletic ability of a toddler with 1 foot. It is actually absurd, but I kind of get it at the same time. The Just Lift bro is going to win. And you know what? I'm going to get ahead of this right now because I can already feel it. Well, yeah, but I would even argue the Just Lift bro at their most extreme would be able to beat a large portion of smaller MMA fighters. You know, like Eddie Hall, like Brian Saw. Those don't count anymore. They don't. If you train MMA, you don't count. No. That's no longer the strength argument anymore. They're one of us now. Eddie Hall has now become an argument for MMA because now he had to train MMA to become good enough to win. Brian Saw, whoa, he would have won anyways if he didn't train. Okay, that's a if I woulda, coulda now. The fact is he trains. He's one of us now. Get out of here, bro. Yeah, no, train. I'm sorry, bro. You saw Eddie Hall get a win in MMA after training for not even that 6 months, maybe, and you're like, bro, all I gotta do is hit some incline bends, okay? And I get it, bro. Different purposes. I understand. But at the same time, dog, it's not that bad to train. It's not like this cutthroat world inside of combat sports. It's not that bad, dude. I'm putting the Just Lifting, bro. It's better than nothing. I'm sorry, bro. Okay? If you are built, like, in the top 10%, Bradley Martin would beat most people in a matchup. Bradley Martin would beat most human beings. Why? Physicality. Physicality does get you a long way, but it's like a bell curve. The highest percentage of people are people that are combat sports athletes, and in the middle are like the lifting bros that are better than like the non-training bros. Okay, I'm putting it in better than nothing. Muay Thai. Okay. I said in the Martial Arts Aura video a long time ago that Muay Thai, it's tough for me to recommend Muay Thai to new people because it is by far the most complicated of all striking arts. And I stand by that completely. I'm sorry, bro. Boxers got angry at that. Boxing, by its own definition, is the simplest martial art. Now, I'm not saying that you could pick up boxing at the age of 25 and become a boxer in the WBA. That's not what I'm saying at all. I am saying this. If you train for 6 months hard in boxing, it will be shocking how good you can get. Oh, well, Jake Paul is the example I'm going to point towards. You can get pretty good at boxing if you're even moderately athletic and you have the time to train it. That is the truth, okay? You don't have to train from 5 years old to be good at boxing, and you're going to hear a hot take later on when I'm going to talk about striking versus grappling, but we're just covering striking now. And I'll say this right now. There's a few things that if you don't have it when you're young, you're probably not going to be able to develop the skill at the same rate, and that is hip mobility with kicking. The fact is, bro, it is very difficult to condition your body to be able to throw the types of strikes that you're going to be throwing inside of Muay Thai. Like, no, not everybody's going to be able to throw a roundhouse kick to the jaw. Not everybody's going to be doing that. I'll be real here. I have trouble with my right leg. I can't do it because I got a hip problem. Fun fact about me, one of my legs is actually longer than the other. That is, I'm not even kidding. Now, on the flip side of that, I can teep kick like a ma-effer, dude, okay? I'm teep kicking you in your solar plexus. Boom, 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 boom. And the moment I lift up my knee and you think I'm going to throw another teep kick, so you're going to guard your solar plexus, your hands coming down, I'm going to switch. Bah! Done. Cooking them, bro, like the well maker special on Muay Thai, baby. That's what I'm hitting you with, man. You gotta hit him with the switch up, bro. Striking is setting these traps and planting patterns into your opponent only to change the pattern. Dude, when you're striking, it is very similar to like you're playing like a Dark Souls Elden Ring boss fight, but you are the boss. I'm implanting patterns into your mind. We're going bop, bop. Okay, you're thinking about that again, thinking about that, and now I'm gonna change the pattern. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna do double jab, body, boom, up top at the very end, dude. I'm implanting these patterns only to change them as I'm crossing the void into you, and then I'm going in, going out, going in, bop, 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 about, bop, 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 done. I'm like nerding out on this, but dude, people that are amazing at striking, bro, it is literally art in motion. It is beautiful. Striking puts art in martial art, dude. I dig it. I love it. Okay, now, Muay Thai is the best striking art. I'm sorry, bro. Okay, oh yeah, a boxer's gonna come in here. Brother, you have 2 weapons. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? I have 8 to 2. I'm winning this, bro. Done. Okay? Far as the most useful, if you can get good at Muay Thai, ooh, I can only put one in the best, but I'm gonna put it at the top of great. I gotta put it there. I do, yep. Top of great, I gotta put it there. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, there are some limitations on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Number one, I'm going to say this. I think the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moving away from engaging the takedown and actually getting the matchup where the matchup needs to be, that being your opponent on their back, or what is uber cringe. I'm sorry, bro. If you pull guard in a street fight, I hope you get mugged. Joking, in GTA 5, if you are in a street fight and you pull guard on the pavement, I hope you get robbed in GTA 6. That's all I'm saying. You're probably gonna bite the curb. That's all I'm saying, bro, because you're giving Jiu-Jitsu a bad name. I'm sorry, dude. It is not difficult to blast double somebody who has never wrestled the day before in their life, okay? Oh my goodness, bro. I'm like salivating at that thought. They're like, what are you doing, bro? They coming in. I'm like, ooh, bro, you got a squared stance walking up on me. You're like trembling over. You're putting your hands out there. It's like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, brother, I'm sorry, dude. You're giving me the perfect opportunity to hit a blast double. Put my forehead in your solar plexus as I'm driving you over. Boom, going up, down on the pavement. Oh my gosh, bro. Pavement. Boom, sliding straight in the side control, bro. I'm getting an underhook on the arm on this side, pulling you up. Sorry, dude. I'm going like full Joe Rogan on this one. Yeah, but we can't do. Elbows are like an amazing asset for ground and pound. On an untrained person, yeah, the worry is if I'm throwing like an elbow and I'm going across my body, you can get a head and arm and be able to reverse position. But if I'm getting this underhook and you're not going to be able to rotate, and I'm driving my knee again into that bruised solar plexus, boom, you ain't going nowhere, dude. You're going nowhere. Ooh, taking the back, getting the rear neck. Ooh. Sorry, bro. This is good. This is good. Okay. And I'm going to say this right now. If I'm in a street fight, what am I going to hit somebody with? Because somebody did legitimately ask me. If I'm in top side control, where like, imagine I'm laying on my back, somebody's over top of me, sideways, and I'm on there. What am I going for with this arm? Okay. If their arm's like this, I can go straight arm. Their arm's like this, I can go Americana. If their arm's like this, I'm going Kimura. I love the Kimura. The Kimura is such a good control grip. I'm going to take that Kimura, lift you up, either snap your arm like a little celery stick, or I'm going to flip you over, take the back, and I'm not going to give you a choice. Let me tell you something, dude. The reason why I think the strangle is the best way to end any type of physical altercation is there's ultimately no choice in your opponent in the matter. You either tap or you sleep. Tap or sleep, bro. Oh, well, it could take... Oh, there's another one. I'm sorry, dude. You know how I know I would smoke you? 100%. If I say that and you're going to say something like... And I know, brother, my martial arts people are going to cringe hard because they've heard people say this. Well, what happens if I just hold my breath? Don't ever hold your breath if somebody has this on you. Brother, you will pop the blood vessels in your eyeballs so quick because the increase in pressure that you're going to induce on yourself by going... Yeah, that air is going to stick right there. I'm going down. I'm clamping down. I'm engaging in a blood choke on your carotids. Dude, you're going down. Oh, bro, 8 seconds. Done. Done. I'm putting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'll be honest with you. There's one limiting factor on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it is the fact they do not engage in the takedown for practicality. However, I have to give them that point again, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the easiest grappling art to learn as an adult. I'll say this right now. If you want to get into martial arts, and you want to do any type of grappling, don't do a wrestling club, do jiu-jitsu, and then go to the wrestling club. I'm going to put it in one of the best. One of the best. You're putting it above Muay Thai? For one reason. If you get jiu-jitsu and you have a smidgen amount of takedowns, it's S tier. S tier level practicality. Karate! Okay, when I'm looking at karate, okay, this is... Am I going to do the karate rant? I think I've done the karate rant a couple times. Karate ran the combat sports world for such a long minute. And when I mean by ran it, I don't mean like they had all these crazy UFC champions. No. They ran the idea of what martial arts were for so long that people assumed that karate was the best one. And there are parts of karate, like karate during the 60s, karate during the 70s, and karate during the first part of the 80s. That was what MMA was for a minute, bro. They were strolling in there. They were throwing actual hands. They were throwing elbows, knees. They were going crazy with it. But then when they were selling karate to children, they had to take a lot of the real crazy stuff out of it to sell it to children. And I will agree with you. Like, understand this, okay? Listen, if I ever have a child, okay? He is not doing any type of combat sparring until the age maybe 15. Maybe 15 will do some combat sparring, okay? Because the head trauma that you are going to get from contact sparring will legitimately linger for a very long time. Be a man. Be a man, grapple! No, just do some jiu-jitsu, do a little bit of wrestling, throw in some judo in there, and then we go from judo into some type of engaging into the clinch. I'm thinking you'll do a little bit of boxing, but I think you have to get them early when you're getting into, like, kickboxing. I'm gonna put karate. It's good. There are parts of karate that are good. Like, I'll say this right now. There's a lot of boxing fundamentals that you are going to learn in karate, but it's not going to be as good as boxing, because boxing is a lot more specialized in the art of boxing. Of course, who would have thunk it? But there's some stuff in karate that you're going to learn, like distance management, how to cross the void, going in, strike, bop, bop, bop. Some of the stuff with the kicks is pretty good when we're talking about, like, distance management with the kicks, because I think kicks are way better when you're talking about, like, distance management. And then in terms of, like, how many barriers you have to get through from different zones, we have kicks. From there, we have your jab. And then when you're in the pocket, the fact is when you're in the pocket, you're throwing hooks. And then if I can't throw the hooks, that's when I'm going to grapple. I'm going to get double underhooks. I'm going to go for the waist, and I'm going to take it down. Okay, when I'm looking at that, I'm going to put karate. I'm going to put it in good. Surprising. Yeah, no, I think karate's way more practical than just lifting. I'll just say that right now. Wrestling! The thing about wrestling is it's not the flassiest thing, but when I tell you that when people ask me, like if you just ask me point blank, what is the best martial art? Wrestling. Literally just wrestling. It's not close. Oh, well, how long does it... Wrestling has had the longest stretch of dominance in martial arts in human history. There is literally no martial art that beats wrestling. There's different types of wrestling. You can go folk style. You can go to Greco-Roman. I think Greco-Roman's one of the better ones, if I'm going to be real with you. But when you're looking at wrestling, the fact is, bro, the reason that wrestling is so dominant is because when I'm looking at striking, like the philosophy of striking can essentially be boiled down to the art of maintaining distance, dishing out damage with taking the least amount of damage in return, okay? It is a very transactional martial art thing. I'm going in, getting distance, bomb, 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 moving out, that's the void, I cross the void to do the damage or I get damage done to me, okay? The art of doing damage without taking it, okay? Wrestling is the art of imposing your fucking will on a poor man, okay? You are... everybody's getting hurt here, but I'm controlling you, I'm putting you on your back, and I am controlling everything that happens from here on out. Bro, that sounds skets out of context, bro. That is wrestling. That is wrestling. The art of taking you to where I'm good, okay? Oh, you're a better striker than me? For you to get into punching distance with me, I have to be within clinching distance of you. Don't even get me started on, like, if I'm going to take, like, a low single or a switch single. Oh, my gosh, bro. Okay, I'm sorry, man. If I'm taking wrestling's one of the best. Actually, it probably is the best. Actually, do I move jiu-jitsu down? I might move jiu-jitsu down just for the time being. Yeah, I'm gonna move jiu-jitsu down for the time being. Judo! Let me tell you, bro, some of y'all, I'll trash judo every once in a while, but, I'm sorry, don't be saying judo's not practical. Oh, well, when am I gonna wear a gi? Fun fact, did you know the majority of judo throws can be done if you're just wearing a hoodie? The majority of the judo throws that I'm literally, using the earth as a weapon. I am taking you and I am throwing you so hard at the earth, there is a chance that you will no longer be in this lobby if you're picking up what I'm putting down, okay? The reason why that works is because it is one of the most tried and true tested martial arts that we know of. Fun fact about judo. Judo was the martial art of the samurai if we're going all the way back to Japan. When people talk about Japanese jiu-jitsu, the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the super simplistic of how we got all these different martial arts is judo was the original one that they taught all of these samurais, which were essentially horseback, and it was to throw people, get a distance, get your sword out, and then hit them from there. Okay? That is essentially what judo was for the samurai. And then we go from there, it slowly evolved. We had Japanese jiu-jitsu and judo get very conflated with each other. And then there was a Japanese guy that was a judoka that went over to Brazil, and he got trained with one of the Gracie ancestors. And they did it in a carnival, kept on winning, and then this Gracie carnival master paid this judoka to train his children. I think it was Henron, Horion, and not Hoist. This was Hoist's dad, I believe, and Henzo Gracie, and trained them in jiu-jitsu, and that jiu-jitsu became Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and then bada bing, bada boom, Hoist Gracie wins the first ever UFC, and jiu-jitsu became, mainstream. Okay, that's essentially what happened. Judo has kept its place inside of just combat sports. It is practical. I'm sorry, the art of taking you to the ground will always be a meta. I'm going to put judo at the top of good. Yes, I think judo's better than karate. Yup. Fight me in the comment section, bro. I think judo's better than karate. Boxing! Yeah, we're gonna be doing boxing now. Understand this. The difference between Muay Thai and boxing, in terms of if I'm gonna introduce somebody to it. Boxing is way easier to learn as an absolute beginner than Muay Thai is. Some people are gonna disagree with that, and it depends on coaches. But I'm purely looking at it of the weapons that you are going to be using. You got one, you got two, and then you got footwork and setting up your shots, okay? It's a very limited skill set when you compare it to other martial arts. Boxers kind of get salty at that, and it's like, well, 1, 2 is all I need. Absolutely. If you just want to learn as something as quickly as possible, go to a boxing gym. The only thing I don't like about boxing, if I'll be real, I think their sparring culture is actually just stupid. And it's just unnecessarily damaging. And people are going to be like, oh, so you don't like rough sparring? Let me tell you something. If we held the sparring etiquette that boxing had in even just Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it would be, I have your arm, I'm going to put you in a Kimura, and taps are optional. That is what boxing culture is, dude. I'm sorry, their sparring culture is so dumb. And here's the thing. I'm actually gonna rage bait you. All of that tough sparring to get no-dipped by one leg kick. Oh my gosh, oh bro, dope. You drop 3 people that are in their first 6 months of boxing, only to get literally the wind knocked out of you with one single teep kick. Oh my goodness, amazing. Well, what if I get across the distance? That's dope, buddy. Blast double, humbled, elbow, 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 done. I'm sorry, what are we talking about, dude? Boxing. I'll put it bottom of grape. I'll put bottom of grape. But I'm sorry. Understand you are in a very limited skill set. Very limited skill set. Aikido. I'm going to keep it real here. There's a solid chance that lifting is actually a better base for MMA than Aikido. Because the thing about Aikido is it has a few things that kind of work, and the stuff that kind of works is literally just some judo elements. I'm not even kidding you. People will look at Aikido and they'll look at 3 things that actually kind of work, and then they'll be like, oh, look, Aikido's not a complete Sam, and I'm over here dude, are you not aware that some of the founding members of Aikido were literally just judokas, and they brought over a lot of their judo stuff to make this new Aikido? And then Steven Seagal, literally anything that Steven Seagal does that works is a judo throw, or just is massively hyperbolic level overemphasized by the poor drone that he has rolling with him. Okay, I'm sorry. Aikdo has a few things that work, but the few things that work were literally ripped out of the pages of Judo. And before somebody says, oh, wait, other martial arts build upon each other, are you really going to sit here and look me in the eyes through your screen and tell me that Aikdo is superior to Judo? Fuck out of here, dude. I get better than nothing, but dude, I'm sorry, Bradley Barton beats the shit out of Steven Seagal. I'm just going to say that right now. MMA. Okay. Now, I said MMA is probably the last one that you should be doing in terms of getting into it. I think that you need to build a skill set, you need to build a good base for MMA, and then you do MMA later on. However, in this modern day and age of combat sports, when we're dealing with like MMA as like there's MMA gyms that open up and you're just straight learning MMA, I feel like we're getting to a point where there's going to be coaches that are going to be good enough to just straight train you MMA, okay? The fact is in many other scenarios, like before time, you were learning wrestling first as a kid, and then you were learning boxing, and then you were learning kickboxing. And now we're in a stage of MMA where like there's gyms opening up that you're going into, and that is your first thing learning. You're just learning the full block of MMA. If you have a good coach, you can learn it. The fact is I think it's effective, but we remain to see long-term, like a 5-year-old goes into, this sounds effed up, but this is kind of how you figure it out. If a 5-year-old goes inside of an MMA gym and we get to see how good he is by the age of 18, that would be what I'm interested in. Wrestling's very tested, but if you can learn the sport of MMA, the fact is it's so multifaceted, it is the best. I'm sorry, if you can learn MMA well, then it is the best one. The way of the blade. I'm going to keep it real here, dog. I wasn't going to put this one until I actually realized that there are people out there that believe I don't have to learn any type of martial arts because I'm good with my little butterfly buddy right here, or my little samurai sword. And I'm over here like, brother, I can smell what your room dude, if you're watching this in your room, I just got to say, you ain't fooling anybody. I can smell what your room smells like, and buddy, open a gosh darn window. Okay? That body pillow is sticky and crusty, and I don't want to know why. Actually, I do know why, and I feel like it's some Lovecraftian level knowledge that I want to like absolutely delete from my mindscape because I know why that little waifu pillow is crusty on the outside. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. Weeb, learn jujitsu. Just learn jujitsu. I'm sorry, bro. You need some physical contact. You need to be touched in combat sport. Okay, you need some type of human interaction because you are too far gone. I'm just gonna admit it right now. Well, my blade will do it. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. If you miss one time with that blade, okay, and you're down here, your arms are crossed, I'm taking you down and you're done. Okay, I'm sorry. The way of the blade, better than nothing, but you gotta have a sword. Actually, I'm gonna be real. The way of the blade, unless we're talking like knives, it might be you are a victim because you have the confidence that you are a martial artist without any of the work to be a martial artist. Gun Fu! Okay, this one I'm like half joking, but like there's a lot of 2A people out there that like, the truth is it is the most effective. Like it kind of just is. Like it's broken. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I have a fanny pack on me right now, and I'm just assuring myself that from any distance, the threat wants to come at me, okay? Whether you're in the pocket, I'm going to be getting a good grapple session in. Whether you're a little bit out, I have jabs, I have crosses, I have hooks, I got uppercuts, I got stuff like that. If you're out of that, I have kicks. If you're 10 to 25 yards away, I'm fanny packing up that threat. Done. Oh, done. I'm sorry, bro. You're cooked. I'm sorry. Done. Okay? Listen, that is the truth when we're talking about this. Okay? Gun fu. And I'm going to keep it real here. You got to put it in the best. You do got to put it in the best because it is the most effective. And there you go. That is martial arts and how effective I think they are. I know some people from like Taekwondo are going to be like, where was my martial art? From what I've realized, a lot of Taekwondo people do like kickboxing or Muay Thai, and I didn't want to do kickboxing because I'm sorry, bro. Going from boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, like no. Like kickboxing is literally just the intermediate in between. Like at the end of the day, like there's a difference, but at the same time, people are choosing one or the other, and they're gonna... A lot of people that I know that do kickboxing are doing kickboxing to get in the Muay Thai. That is the truth. Or if there is Muay Thai available, they're doing Muay Thai, because I get it. Why would you take the second best option? Okay, so that is going to be the video. Okay, if you like this video, please consider a like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year. 500,000 before the release of GTA 6, and I want to do something a little bit different for this. I think this is going to come out Wednesday. I think so. And I'm recording this on Monday. If you enjoy the channel, don't forget, I'm going to say it again, please consider a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay notified. And with all that out of the way, I will see you all in the next video. Adios, guys.